Cruise ship income is exactly the same as any other foreign income, and we already have a post on foreign income, so have a look at that. The only difference being that with cruise ship income, you may be eligible for what's called Seafarers earnings deduction, which we're going to talk more about in this post. So we're going to assume that you are UK tax residents, because if you are not UK tax resident, then Seafarers earnings deduction definitely won't apply to you. If you don't know if you are or aren't a UK tax resident, then you can take our tax residency road trip and it will tell you. If you are a UK tax resident, then the bad news is that you'll probably have to pay tax on your worldwide income, which will include your cruise ship income, if you're not eligible for Seafarers earnings deduction, which we'll get to in a second. The good news is that if you're using a SansDrama web app, then you can click on the correct link and input that foreign income, and it will include it all in a tax return report for you. And if you're paid in a foreign currency, like dollars or euros, which let's face it, most cruises are, then you just select the date you've been paid and the currency, and it will do the conversion rate for you, so you don't have to work that out yourself either. It just does it all for you. So Seafarers earnings deduction. Everyone wants it, but not everyone gets it. I didn't get it, wish I did, didn't qualify. Essentially, it's an exemption on paying tax for your cruise ship income, essentially. That's what it is. If you do qualify for Seafarers earnings deduction, you still have to do a tax return and declare all of your cruise ship income within that tax year, and then you apply for the deduction. So even if you qualify, you don't get out of doing a tax return, sadly. You still have to do a tax return and then apply for the deduction. To qualify for the deduction, you need to have worked on a cruise ship, which is usually a tick. You need to be UK or EEA resident, which is usually another tick. And then thirdly, which is where a lot of the confusion and misinformation occurs, you need to have worked outside the UK long enough to qualify, which is usually a minimum eligible period of at least 365 days. So if you have only done one cruise contract and it was under a year, it definitely won't apply to you, which is a shame, which was also the case for me. Sadly, not bitter about it. We explain a bit more about how to build up that eligible period in the post below, so you can understand it a bit better. But you'll also see there a big blue link, which is a link to our Seafarers earnings deduction eligibility calculator. So this is a tool that James basically built because we were getting loads of contact forms, loads of messages of people essentially saying, I've just been on a cruise, I don't know whether I qualify, the worksheet's really confusing on the HMRC website, help me out. And basically James has built this tool, don't know if it exists anywhere else, but essentially you select how many cruises you've been on, input your dates, and it'll tell you whether or not you have any eligible periods for Seafarers earnings deduction. So enjoy. Finally, if you do qualify for Seafarers earnings deduction, then great, congratulations. And when it comes to doing your actual tax return, we've got at the very bottom of this post 5 steps to actually apply for the deduction in your tax return. So just follow that, it's really, really simple. And then it'll explain what to do. And the last thing to say is if you have any cruise colleagues or friends that are confused about whether or not they're paying tax on their cruise income, or they don't know whether they qualify for Seafarers earnings deduction, please send them towards our eligibility calculator. Or this post, the calculator was built to be used, and hopefully it's going to help a lot of people. So please spread the awareness. And thank you very much. Hope that was helpful, and happy cruising.